We made this.
We have a special announcement. Chucky is back!
Fuck's sake, Dev.
It's a little bonus episode of CHUCKYVISION. I'm your host, Dev. With me, as always, my co-host, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
And we are getting this episode out nice and quick because...
Well, quickish.
Quickish. We are starting to see new footage of Chucky Season 3 coming very soon next month. We have 2 teasers to get through and then some news.
Chucky news.
Well, Chucky speculation, really.
Chucky speculation. Don't let me do a new fucking jingle.
Oddly enough, it's not news I've seen anywhere other than you bring it up to me. So
Yeah, true.
it's odd. But we'll get to what we do know, which is the 2 teasers. One dropped 2 weeks ago, one dropped last week. One of them doesn't have any new footage, but the second one, thankfully, does. It gives us a good picture of what is going to be happening in Season 3. Let's get straight into the first teaser, which was the press conference teaser, which was pretty accurate. A lot of people were saying teasers were going to drop early September, and they did. This one, it's Chucky on his little podium giving a press conference, very White House-ish. That was obviously the pastiche they were going for. They give a fair amount of information on Chucky Season 3, although it's all tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, it feels on brand with how they've been doing the TV series, you know, like the Liv Morgan stuff, where it kind of went out of character and into kind of like not the main plot. Because obviously this isn't part of the main plot. This is a separate video similar to what we looked at, actually, when we did the wrestling stuff and the appearances on other media. And I liked it. I thought it was really, really clever and a really nice way to kind of get across, this is how we're doing it this year. We've got a very much kind of presidential theme. I laughed. I actually laughed. But did you enjoy it? And was it what you expected?
I wasn't expecting this minor one, because I guess with everyone eagerly anticipating a teaser trailer, this coming out just before the teaser trailer, you know, as I've said, there's no new footage, there's no real footage in it.
No.
So it's kind of not disappointing, subverting expectations. But it is funny. It's still charming, and we do get quite a bit of information in it. Notably, as you just said right out, they don't actually say anything particularly about the plot, you know, like politics or presidential stuff. They don't say anything about that in this, but obviously the visual setting is a big clue.
Yeah. I think what I really liked was, is Devon Sawa reappearing? And he avoided the question like a politician. And then we then subsequently discovered that he is coming back, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the question about Jennifer Tilly. She always comes back. Brilliant. It's just so self-referential, so silly. And you covered it with subversive, and that's what Chucky is, and that's what Chucky should be. And I'm delighted with this because it wasn't what we expected, but it was great fun. I mean, it was only a minute, but it was a minute that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, definitely. I love those actor shout-outs. Continuing the weird, and again, as you said, this is like meta out-of-universe Chucky. Continuing that feud between him and Devon Sawa on Twitter and all social media and stuff. That was
Which
really
is
fun.
brilliant.
And I like that Jennifer Tilly's earned her placement now. You know, it's, you know, when people use that phrase of "I always come back," that's in reference to Chucky. But I like that Jennifer Tilly's been around long enough that that is in reference. He's earned
She
that.
always comes back.
I mean, arguably, that works for Devon Sawa as well. Because no matter how many times you kill him, he always comes back.
True. Very
But he's
true.
not the same character, so...
Again, he's not the same character.
It's not the same as Jennifer Tilly managing to stick around.
So, by my count, it's 5, right? 5 characters now for Devon Sawa.
And also, in a way, I guess this is meta out of context, so Jennifer Tilly, the real Jennifer Tilly is coming back, but like the fake Jennifer Tilly isn't coming back because she died in season 2.
She did, she got hit by a bus.
So Tiffany's coming back.
Oh, this is revisiting old trauma, poor Jennifer Tilly. It's just so cruel and funny.
They do give one clue, I guess, or other than the visual setting of this. They do say what is likely going to be the season 3 tagline of DC is going to get chucked up. Which, is that something they've said in season 1 and 2? Have they been using chuck like that? Like chucked up?
I was going to say the same thing. Have we heard the term chucked up before, or is this a new thing? I think, so obviously we're British, and I don't know whether Americans use the term chuck up to describe being sick, vomiting.
No, that's very much Britishism, yeah.
Yeah, so I think you and I would have noticed it because it has a different kind of cultural reference to us, in the same way as, the Benders thing on The Last Airbender, where they just call each other Benders all the time. And that's a slur for gay people in Britain.
Yeah.
It isn't in America. I'm pretty sure, because I tend to enjoy Americans being ignorant of our terminology, I would have clocked that. So I think this is the first time they've used the term chucked up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because, chucked up, fucked up. But like...
Yeah.
Like, have they done anything like, chuck you, go chuck yourself? Have they done any puns like that before?
I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. I think I would have giggled at it because it means to puke in this country.
We, of course, get the release date, October 4th. Did we have that before? Was that an announcement by itself?
No, that was in the announcement.
That was in there. So this was important just for that.
But what is interesting is it doesn't confirm how many episodes. And I think we do need to have a conversation about that, really.
And we will. Not so important for us, but we get important for US viewers. Chucky is so big now, he's on 3 networks, USA, Sci-Fi, and available next day on Peacock.
Which I think is actually quite important because Peacock is fucking huge compared to the other 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that Netflix is big, but like, how much money are they hemorrhaging versus how much are they making, to keep something that big afloat, money goes out. But yeah, Peacock is definitely quite big. And this is good because we've not looked at it in any detail, but with season 1 and season 2, I think Chucky was available on... Was it ever available on Peacock? I want to say it was at some point because they always have the NBC Peacock logo.
Well, it was definitely available on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, but this is good that after season 2, I think it was, we were having conversations about whether or not season 3 was going to happen and whether or not that's because Sci-Fi don't want to have any involvement or USA don't want to have any involvement. It's very positive to know that all 3 networks are in on Chucky.
Well, we were talking about how it seems like season 2 hadn't done as well for viewing figures, but surely with this kind of investment that it's probably going to be more likely to be watched by a lot of people.
And they are pushing for it because another marketing gimmick in this announcement teaser was the Chucky hotline, 201-500-3347. And I don't have any clips. I mean, maybe I'll have a look on Twitter, see if anyone's recorded it. But I did look it up, and basically you phone it up, and Chucky swears at you a bunch, and then it's very similar to this. It's it's a very cheeky. He threatens you to watch the show, so it's still like an advertisement, but it's fun. And then he does also send you a link to his community page. The website I looked at just says community page, doesn't say what on, but maybe that's like an email subscription.
Maybe some of our American friends can let us know what they've got through the text in.
Yeah, I want to know exactly what that is, yeah.
Because we can't access that. I don't think we can text him, can we?
No. So essentially, it's just information that we're probably going to get publicly anyway, but it's still fun to get that in that format. Yeah, there's not much more to say about this. I didn't know. I saw someone on Twitter mention this, but I think, and it's not really a sign of concern or anything like that. I mean, it's still fun, but like, I don't think even the Chucky doll is new in this one. Because if you watch it, he's never on screen for even like a full sentence. He says maybe 2 or 3 words on screen, and it's always cutting back and forth. So I think this is reused Chucky footage of the doll. But obviously, it is Brad Dourif doing new dialogue.
Yeah, it's actually very cleverly done. It's entertaining, but probably quite cheap.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to say it's skimping out or anything, because they still got Dourif in, and they do give us quite a bit of information in a fun way. And speaking of fun, it does end with Chucky killing a reporter.
Yes.
Very much like the Liv Morgan one. You got to end with Chucky doing what he does best.
I really liked this. It was a fun little addition. And, going back to episodes that we've done in the past, this would have been something we'd have probably put in alongside the vacation slides and the extras in that kind of context. And I've always enjoyed those little silly tidbits. And this was great. And maybe they should put it on the DVD extras this time rather than 3 cutscenes. Not bitter. Still bitter. Sorry.
There's no reason not to put it on. But yes, we didn't have to wait long. They didn't say that there was a real teaser or a trailer coming out after that, but we didn't have to wait long because just last week we got the first real teaser trailer. Not a full trailer, but a teaser trailer. But it's all actual footage of season 3. And kind of in keeping with the end of that teaser, which was very much comedic. And then it reminds us that, Chucky is a killer doll. He does kill people. This is quite a not serious trailer, but it's horror first. And then I guess the idea of it is comedic.
Yes.
So to answer the question of, is Devon Sawa coming back? Yes, he is, because the very first shot reveals that Devon Sawa is the President of the United States of America.
Of course he is, because why the fuck wouldn't he be? We don't get the president's name, though.
No, we don't. Interesting enough, we don't get any character names in this. We just know him as Mr. President. I also want to know if he was the standing president during season 2 and 1, or if he's new, because then surely we never saw him, but surely he would have been on TV like every other day.
Yeah, and also there would have been the uncanny resemblance to 4 other characters. I mean, we don't know. He could be the brother of Father Bryce, but we don't know. We don't know. He could be President Bryce.
Well, he didn't have any connection with the brothers in season 1. So I think they are just doing their old American Horror Story reusing of actors here. It's not as comedic compared to this one, with Jake meeting several people that all look like his dad.
And here's the thing, right? We know that they're coming back because it's been announced, but there was no returning characters whatsoever in this trailer. And who's that little boy that's got Chucky?
Yeah, we only get introduced to the new plot here, which is Mr. President. He's the president. He has his son, who's the only name we get, Henry. And Henry has a new best friend, and it's Chucky. And Chucky is up to no good in the Oval Office.
Because reasons. How the fuck did he get there?
Yeah, we say reasons. We had no idea why. Well, Chucky. Well, in season 2, it was just revenge, what we thought, and then there was a very convoluted series of revelations with how many Chuckies there were, and allegiances, and secret characters in season 2. So that was crazy. Probably going to be all sorts of crazy revelations and reveals and stuff we can't even anticipate for season 3. But so far, it's a very simple enough story. Chucky is going to be causing problems in a place with, one of the most secure places in the world. So, and no one's going to believe that a doll is the culprit. So, at the end of this teaser, when he kills one of the president's secretaries, with the president's letter opener, that's going to cause some problems for people. Are people going to suspect the president first? Are they going to suspect someone else? Who's going to be the early patsy in season 1? And also the fact that, if we're going to get into it, season 2 was very socio-politically charged. It was very much Don Mancini's voice venting about his own experiences with Catholicism. And this very much seems to be a kind of like American Horror Story, how they had that season. That was all about the presidential election. This seems to be a response to things that are happening or have been happening in the country. I think the whole idea of the president being in legal trouble is too obvious to ignore.
Yeah.
But an odd one here, because as far as we know, the president here is innocent. He is being framed.
But there's so little in this, yet quite a lot. Because obviously we've got the setting now, which was really, really important for season 2. And very little else other than Devon Sawa's playing the president, and there's a new kid being controlled by Chucky. But that's quite a lot. We've just got nothing of the characters that we know and love. And let's be honest, we're expecting to see in the trailer.
Yeah, well, that will be the full trailer, I guess.
Do you think that we will get another trailer then?
Oh, yeah. We'll get this is a teaser trailer still. So we're going to get a full trailer, and then we'll get TV spots, and then we'll probably get a final trailer. Yeah, we'll definitely see the trio of Jake, Devon, and Lexi before season 3 starts. Because there's so much going on in this show, they don't want to make it look too confusing. Like, they want people just to be like, oh, Chucky's causing chaos in the White House. Like, they want it to be like, people can just start here if they want. Yeah,
so like a starter point, I think you're right. And also like a teaser for casual fans that know who Chucky is and thinks he's cool. Yeah. And yeah, I think it's actually quite cleverly done when you think about it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely going to try and get people in. And I imagine it'll be like, we talked about it with season 1, how season 1 took like half the season before it bringing in characters like Tiffany and Nika. So I doubt it will be half a season before we get the trio back. But we don't know how they're going to go back. They're going to be in the first episode. They're like they are the main characters. They have to be in the first episode. So, but they're going to spend some time building this new setting. They're going to take their time building that setting. Yeah, and there's a lot we don't know about just this. We don't even know what his political leaning is. Is he red or blue? Like, what side does Mancini want to make more fun of?
Do you know? You're right. So Chucky is obviously quite, gender fluid. He's quite LGBTQ positive, but would he be a Democrat or a Republican?
Yeah, and how is he going to react to whatever Mr. President is? Is it funny if he's a Republican or a Democrat? Like a Democrat who's getting into all this political trouble, or a Republican? Because I don't know if he can be a nasty Republican, because then we don't want to watch a whole season of that. We had this exact discussion with Father Bryce when it was set up that he was going to be the guy in charge of the church. We don't want to spend an entire season with such a bad character. And so it was nice when he actually had some humanity to him.
Yeah, you're right.
I have to assume it's going to be the same here, that he's not going to be a cartoon caricature. He's going to have some humanity and some dimensions to him. They don't show him as like a Nixon over-the-top president. Aside from the setting of him being the president, he looks very normal in this teaser.
Yeah, and it doesn't give the impression that he knows the truth about Chucky. So I think he's, in inverted commas, an innocent. And let's not get too political, but as innocent as a politician can be. But let's not do that.
Yeah, if he's going to do any allusions to political stuff, I mean, just even all the recent stuff, and then just they can reference Watergate, they can reference Clinton's impeachment. There's so much they can have fun with. I mean, it's always giving us really weird twists and turns. Like, what if he's like the woman from season 2? What if he when he meets Chucky, he's like, "You've got some good ideas," and Chucky becomes his unofficial running mate.
Wow. There are so many possibilities with this, all of them weird and wonderful. And I don't know, it's certainly not the setting I would have predicted, but I think it's a setting that I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah, it's definitely the whole idea of it being so secure. Like, there's got to be other settings, because how can the trio is not going to be like Corey in the house. Like, the trio aren't just going to be running around the White House getting into adventures.
How are they even going to get into the fucking White House?
I thought about this, and I wonder now, because at the end of season 2, basically everything has been put on Tiffany. Everyone thinks Tiffany is now this insane killer. So I get, because season 2 basically ends with them off the hook for everything. Now they can have their lives back. Maybe they're like celebrities now? You know, like that would be picked up in the news, like the fact that they've survived season 1 and season 2. This celebrity, Jennifer Tilly, has been trying to ruin their lives for some reason. Like, that would make them kind of famous.
Yeah. Again, I'm really interested to see how they deal with it now, and how much the teacher whose name I've forgotten.
Oh, yeah, she came back, didn't she?
Yeah, how much she's going to be involved.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of characters at play and where they're going to go.
Well, that's it, isn't it? We're expecting to see them all, and we haven't yet.
I mean, we have the whole thing of Tiffany and Carolyn. Like, how is that going to come into play? Again, you know, just because we have a new setting, the White House, it's like in season 2 we also had Tiffany's house. That was a whole plot line and setting of its own. So we're obviously only seeing the main through line of season 3 right now. We're not seeing what else there is.
No, you're right. And I can't wait for the next trailer, because there's got to be another trailer.
Oh, yeah, there will definitely be more trailers. I saw one thing on Reddit that he said, apparently, according to some TV guide, the full trailer might be September 10th. I looked that up. I couldn't find it, but someone said September 10th.
It's got to be sometime in September, hasn't it?
Yeah, sometimes in September they'll start rolling out more footage.
Yeah, and as soon as it drops, we'll do our best to get an episode up, obviously.
Yeah. But how much footage is the question? Because
I know.
You came across something. I want to ask you, Mark, how did you find this?
So, my friend Dan, who is a puppeteer and massively into Chucky, we chat about Chucky all the time, and he found a website that confirmed, in inverted commas, that there was only going to be 4 episodes, because they were looking for YouTubers to cover the show, and it said there are 4 episodes. And it's changed. So we can't actually send the source out anymore, and we didn't screenshot it, but it definitely fucking said it.
I have got it here. I did quote tweet it. Yeah, none of us screen capped it. But on the site Tongle, there is a competition for the Chucky TV series social recap video project. And I've got one paragraph here. To help fans prepare for season 3 and catch up on all the mayhem from the past 2 seasons, USA and Sci-Fi are looking for 6 different talented editors and filmmakers to each create one short recap video that's designed for social media. Specifically, we are looking for a full season 1 recap, a full season 2 recap, and recaps of each episode that will be airing in season 3 this October. After USA and Sci-Fi pick which creators they'd like to greenlight, they will assign creators to create either a season recap video or an episode recap video. And yeah, so that's cool. But that is not what it said when we last looked at it, as recently as last week. This has been changed very recently, which is weird because no one has noticed this except us, apparently.
Yeah, well, it was this YouTuber.
Yeah, okay, so a YouTuber did notice it, right. But yes, I did quote it. It'd probably be in that YouTube video. We should find that video and then put it on our Twitter.
Yeah, I'll dig it out.
But yes, I quoted on our Twitter, the line said the 4 episodes that will be airing in September 3 this October.
Well, the thing is, they haven't finished recording, so it was never going to be the 8 episodes, but we didn't know the specifics. I read somewhere, again, not particularly reliable source, and I didn't make a note of it, that they've got enough footage for 6 episodes. So maybe 6, but I think this 4 thing might be accurate. And they've been told, Take that fucking down.
Yes, our good listener and one-time guest, Waji, did say that 6 out of 8 episodes have been completed. For me, I am imagining in good faith for Mancini. I know that a number of people involved have been giving updates where they can on these details of...
I've looked up who the YouTuber was. It's someone called Critical Overlord.
Oh, yes, I've seen him on Twitter, yeah. Yeah, he does a lot of updates. But yeah, some of the people have been involved. I know they're all obviously on the side of the strike. You know, Mancini has the strike in his Twitter header, so they're all going to follow the guidelines of the union as close as they can. I imagine it's the same reason why with season 2 and with season 3, why we had to wait so long for any updates or any information, and that I don't know if they don't or even if they can't, because we're talking, unions and stuff. Like, I don't think they can just put out willy-nilly information if it's not absolutely 100% correct. Like a date. I really don't think Don Mancini can just say, oh, it's coming out October at some point. They have to say it's exactly October 4th. All the networks, everyone has agreed it's October 4th. That is when it's coming out. And only then they can say it's coming out October 4th.
Exactly.
I believe this is very similar in the sense that they have agreed that the second half of season 3 is not finished. They cannot finish it now. So they're going to put out equally. They're going to put out the equal amount of 4 episodes now, 4 episodes later. But because of the strike, there's no definite time that the part 2 can come out. So they can't say it's going to be coming out when the strike is done, because there is no date set for that. And
exactly,
I don't think in their position they would even want to say it will come out when it comes out. They don't want to even infer that the strike might end at some point. I wonder at the end of October, when episode 4 comes out, and it is a split season, what the announcement is going to say. At most, I guess they can say coming soon, or to be continued.
Yeah, it'll be that. And I think you're right. They won't even reference the strike when they do that. There'll be nothing about the reason why it's a split season. It'll just be about, this is the end of part 1 of season 3. And as far as I'm concerned, I was worried that it might just end Chucky. And it really hasn't, has it? So, even if it did end Chucky, we said very, very clearly from the beginning that we are union guys and that we support the strikes. So Chucky always comes back.
I mean, I'm a big podcast listener. I know technically, if even one person is wondering, I know technically other podcasts, like if you're really, really following, I'm really, really following the rules. I think only if you're a member of SAG, if you're following the rules, you can't talk about any product ever. So
right.
If we were in SAG or a SAG product, or because we make no money from this, if we're making any money from it, maybe that would be different. But we wouldn't be able to talk about Child's Play. We wouldn't be able to talk about the first film.
Really?
Yeah. I listen to podcasts which are, they're comedy podcasts, but they bring in celebrities and stuff. And at the end, it's like a talk show. They say, "Oh, I'm in this coming up this season" and stuff. They can't do plugs at the end. But they also can't talk about anything ever. I listened to Comedy Bang Bang. They had on Jack Quaid and Tony Newsom, from Lower Decks. Yeah. And they can't talk about anything at all. They couldn't bring up Child's Play if they wanted to.
Fuck. This is grim. They just need to start fucking paying people properly, don't they?
Yeah, it's crazy. But I just wanted to put that out there that, since we make no money and we're not affiliated with SAG in any way, that, we are, in a way, promoting Chucky Season 3. We are talking about other Chucky products, but our only position is we're fans. That's it.
Yeah, this is our hobby. This isn't, we don't make any money from it. I do work in media, but this is my hobby.
Yeah, I think you said the fact that there is this Tongle competition, that USA and Sci-Fi are doing this whole community-orientated recap project, that they like Chucky, they want Chucky to continue, and it's just a matter of principle, They will continue Chucky when they are allowed to.
And hopefully it will be soon, because hopefully people will be paid fairly.
If the strike ends in October or even September, then we'll mention it because that means more Chucky.
We'll just cover the episodes when they come out until they stop coming out. I think we're going to end up doing 4, which will cover us for October. If that's the case, we'll do something in November. If not, and if it's actually 6, we'll just do those 6 and then go straight into our Christmas special. So we'll play it by ear, but I'm pretty sure it will be the 3 planned episodes on cult TV shows with episodes with a doll in, followed by the 4 weekly episodes on the new season of Chucky, followed by something in November, followed by a Christmas special. I think that's what we'll be doing for the rest of the year, but we will play fast and loose if there's more Chucky than we were expecting.
Sounds good. I think that's about everything. We can keep this episode concise.
As concise as we get.
So that's it from me. That's it from you, Mark.
It is.
And until then, wanna play? My voice is completely gone.
Yeah, that didn't sound great. Are you okay? You need a cup of tea?
Yeah, I do need a cup of tea.
CHUCKYVISION is a podcast brought to you by the We Made This Network. Follow us on Twitter at CHUCKYVISION. Follow the network on Twitter at WMT_network. Our website is WeMadeThisNetwork.com. The logo was designed by Dev, and the theme tune composed by Dark Fantasy Studios. Wanna play?
If you're a fan of British comedy, particularly broadcast on the BBC, that's been going for a decade or 3, try Shipwrecked and Comatose, covering all of Red Dwarf, including those additional specials, heroes and their foes. Anything else, well, who knows? So find us on your podcast apps and be greeted by some friendly chaps. And Mark's deep obsession with all cats. It's Shipwrecked and Comatose. We're not on Insta, it's Twitter's hard mode. Red Dwarf Pods are social. Both subscribe and enjoy us a load.